Good day, YouTube. This is James Smalls with the Secret Garden Family Farm LLC, located here in Walterboro, South Carolina. I wanted to tell everybody, my 40 plus crowd, I wrote a story that I'm gonna basically just read it, because like the way how it is, I'd rather just read it the way how it came to me. Because me personally, I'll get sidetracked and start freestyling and just be talking about whatever. However, this story is for like encouragement, to keep going, never give up. Whether if you want to start YouTube like how I'm doing right now to tell my story, if you want to do your own business, if you want to go back to school, if you want to get married and find that perfect relationship, this story that I wrote that I'm about to read is for you. And it's called From Stuck to Unstoppable. Trusting a higher power and your mind at 40 plus. Like I said, I'm James Smalls, 43 years old, Walterboro, South Carolina, from Charleston, South Carolina. But have you ever felt stuck, like life is passing you by at 40 plus? It's easy to feel like your best days are behind you. But I'm here to tell you, they're not. I know because I've been there. But what if I told you that the feeling stuck doesn't have to define your story? What if there's a way to break free and rediscover the possibilities that life has to offer? That's exactly what happened to me. Like when I moved out here from Charleston, this is like a whole different like scenery, and starting a farm, the average person doesn't even know a farmer. The people don't even know where they're getting their food from. So when I moved here and invested in some land and a house and stuff, I was like, yo, I want to be able to eat food from right here at my house. So, you know what I mean? Like with that kind of got me into farming. But at the time, right now, today, I am living a life that 3, 4, 5 years ago, I only imagined and I wished, but as I continue with my story, I used to feel overwhelmed by routines, fears, and doubts. I thought my dreams were over, but everything changed when I discovered two powerful truths: trusting a higher power and unlocking the potential of my mind. It didn't happen overnight, but when I began taking small, intentional steps, things slowly started to shift. It all began by hey, I want to change my life. And being definite with it. Like I wrote down some things and I started drawing pictures in a notebook. And I was just like, these things would just come to my mind that I don't know where it came from, but I wrote it down. And like literally now, I began that like maybe 5 years ago, not even knowing what I was really doing. Like when you write something down that you think about, you bring it from a mental state to something physical that you can already touch. Whether you see it physically, it's already there. You know what I mean? Because you thought about it, you wrote it down with detail and preciseness, and when you write it down on a piece of paper, it's not only mental no more, it's physical. So, for me, my journey, it all started with simple practices like practicing gratitude, surrendering my doubts to higher power, and visualizing the life that I wanted. At first, I was hesitant because could I really trust in something greater than myself? I grew up in church. I went to a Christian school. I'm 43. I graduated in 1999. So that was like a long time ago, over 25 plus years ago. And, like I would say all along, I grew up knowing that there was something greater than myself. I did grow up knowing that. However, we forget about all that and we start thinking about what we got to do because we're programmed to say, hey, you got to get out here and go work 40 hours. After you graduate high school, you got to get a job, go in the military, or go to college. And it's like your life is dictated to you, and you are already somebody who you we're created to be in the image and the likeness of the Most High, you know? So, you know, I discovered all kind of different strengths and peace that I didn't even know that I had once I, you know, like began to lean into like a faith-based like reality instead of my reality being based on what I see with my physical eyes. Okay, so faith gave me the foundation, but I realized there was another powerful tool at my disposal, my mind. And that's when things truly began to transform. I learned that the mind is like a magnet. What you focus on, you attract. So I started shifting my thoughts from fear and lack to abundance and possibility. So, you know, that's like for us 40-plus-year-old people, fear is like the thief. You know what I mean? Fear will steal all of your joy. Fear will steal your happiness, your relationship, your quality time with family, your kids or whatever. Fear steal all of that. You know, like you gotta focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, because the what you put your focus on, what you is like your mind will bring that to you. Because like I even heard like the way how people used to trick their mind is by saying, man, when they want something, they say, man, I don't want this to happen. Because as soon as you say, I don't want something to happen, it's like it happened as soon as you snap your fingers. You know what I mean? It's like as soon as you say, I don't want something, that's when it happens. So, you know, when you say you want something, that's when it's like the opposite happens. It's like it evades you. You could be this close to having it. It's like right there and you don't have it anymore, you know? So your mind is something powerful. Focus on abundance and, you know, instead of lack, and you'll get more abundance. But like the mind is powerful, but it needs direction. I began speaking affirmations daily, visualizing my goals, and rewiring my mindset for success. But I quickly learned that belief alone isn't enough. It needs action to bring it to life. That's when I discovered the magic of combining faith with effort. So, you know, faith is just like, I would say, in comparison with like knowledge. If you got a whole bunch of knowledge and you don't use it, you lose it. It's useless. So with your faith, you gotta put your faith into action. You gotta call those things that be not as though they are. Like you gotta see what the invisible, because you know, a lot of people don't even know, like us humans with the visual, with the light spectrum, we can only see like 0.0035 of the whole light spectrum. There's a whole 99.9 something else that's invisible to us, that's right here in front of us, in front of our face, and we see just what we see. That means that it really ain't that much that we are capable to see, that there's a lot more that you can not see than you can see. You know what I mean? And so faith without works is dead. I didn't just dream about a better life. I took inspired actions. Every day I asked my higher power for guidance and followed through on the steps that came to me. As I put it into practice, the results started to speak for themselves. Let me tell you how these principles changed my life. You know, like I just was saying, writing in a journal, I mean, whether it's a journal, whether it's some way to bring what is in your mind onto paper. It's something about that. To me, that's like the first step of transformation. Like when you want to really change your life, there's nothing impossible in your mind, because all things are possible to anybody who believes. If you believe, it's possible. All things are possible to anybody who believes. So you know what I mean? Like, believing in yourself is going to come challenges and obstacles. like delays. Everything is going to happen, man. However, you got to see past that because it's an illusion. It's in that 0.0035 that those things exist, and there's 99.999 something else that it's infinite possibilities of more than what's visible to your eyes. So my 40 plus crowd, you know what I mean? Like, it's time for us to really just say, hey man, I'm a unique individual. My fingerprint is mine. It's nobody else's. Nobody else got the same fingerprint. That means that I'm unique. I can use what comes to my mind to get paid. Like, yes, I'm a farmer. However, I raise animals to feed people. I also, in the going on 5 years that I was farming, learned that to feed my mind, self-development, you have to grow. You know, like stagnation is like, if you ain't growing, you're dead. So therefore, life is about progression. Life is about seeing change. Life is about expanding and growing and flying high, being the best that you can be. You know, so with the Secret Garden Family Farm, it's a family farm that's not just owned by my family. Because for me, I'm the only one really. It's my dream to help families all over the world through my farm. Whether you want to grow pigs or chickens or food, or whether you want to have cookouts, or whether you have a restaurant. And my goal is to just put my channel out there with my content to let the people know, hey, Jay, this is where his journey is right now. Like, he's just getting on YouTube, making videos about pigs, but then, hey, I am also talking about mental growth and how the whole farm is a whole metaphor for like being better and growing and reproducing and flourishing. It's all about abundance. I mean, when I actually tapped into it, the first millionaire in the Bible, Abraham, was a farmer. He had livestock, gold and silver, you know? So God bless the farmer. Higher power, universe, whatever you call it, blesses those that, you know, have a relationship. So within a year, my relationships improved. You know, I found a career that I love, and most importantly, I found peace with myself. It was as if the universe was aligning everything for me. The best part, this isn't just my story. It's a universal truth that has worked for so many other people, and it can also work for you. So, you know, no matter what you've been through so far in your life, 40 plus crowd, you know, give it, keep going. You lived through the worst part. You see what I'm saying? Like, for me, right now, I'm 43, but I've seen people start businesses at 45, repair broken relationships, and achieve financial freedom by just trusting a higher power and harnessing the power of their minds. Now, imagine that. What could happen if you apply these same principles in your life? The question isn't, can it work? Are you ready to believe it will? See, that's the thing about the mind. Once you start to transform it, that's when everything starts renewing. But like your mind, the subconscious mind, is used to having everything orderly like how you're used to it. So as soon as you transform your mind, oh yeah, there's going to be things that come up that you're not even expecting to happen. Because and it's gonna want to keep you in that old paradigm, you know, keep you in that old mindset, that old way of thinking, that stinking thinking, you know what I mean? It don't want to keep you in that. Like me personally, I done had to eliminate a whole bunch of stinking thinking, and still every day I'm still doing it, because like I have to, even for right now, I'm 43. This YouTube, this is a new business that I'm starting. Whether I got other businesses that I talk about, I'm all about growth and connecting with like-minded people who want to grow and don't know where to start or have to, need help letting things go. I see myself being a person who has a voice that can be heard by someone who needs it. You know what I mean? And so, and that's all coming from my higher power, for me talking and meditating and getting into who I really am to be the best version of myself for 2025. Because, once it all boils down to it, it's all about you. It ain't nobody else out here that really cares. It's all about you. You know what I mean? I have a question, like, if you're ready, there's no better time than now to take that first step. Trust, believe, and act, because the best chapters of your story are still waiting to be written. I mean, when I say that, do you actually believe that you have more to offer right now, and more to gain, and more to give, and more to just leave for generations? Do you actually believe that? Because if you do, we're on the right track. And if you stay this long, I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm out here wanting to just seeing it and believing and walking in it right now, because I'm already on YouTube. So it's such a new experience for me that I know that personally I'll be able to connect with the audience that can vibe with, they feel stuck. They feel a little stagnant. They need some help. They need somebody a community to talk to. Here is what the Secret Garden Family Farm is for, because, like, we all about growth over here. We all about expansion. So my last call to action is, your future is brighter than you can imagine. And it all starts with one decision today: to trust, believe, and take action towards the life you deserve. Let's make 2025 the year you go from stuck to unstoppable. So, my 40 plus crowd, do you see yourself being stuck, or do you see yourself being unstoppable? Like, comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? Let's just form a crew that, you know what I mean? We could be all over the place. Like I said, I'm in South Carolina, but let's start something. Let's use our higher power. Let's use our minds. Let's use our mind power. Because it has to be in your mind before it could be in your hand. It has to be in your mind. You have to know what you want to actually have it. Well, James Small, Secret Garden Family Farm, LLC. Thank y'all.